Good morning, good morning, good morning. I think that we are live here. I am recording. I see a red recording button. We'll work through this together. Regardless if you are seeing this on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or clicking right here on Riverside, or if you're watching it on YouTube, regardless of where you are coming from, thank you very much for tuning in. I have our chat open here. If you have any questions or comments, please drop those in. Again, this entire setup is very new to me. Today is the very first comprehensive live I've done on here. So just bear with me and it'll be one of many to come. So today we're going to jump right in and talk about small business marketing. Okay, so over a 20-year career, starting in radio, moving through television, working for a development company, and then starting my own agency. And I've had the opportunity to meet with a lot of business owners. And I have found, although I didn't want to do this in the very beginning, I didn't want, when you're a media salesperson, you really don't go into verticals. You sell to everyone because you're trying to hit budget. And so for many years, I really didn't like thinking about verticals until I really got into my own agency, and have figured out over the years that really we specialize in three main verticals: home service businesses, healthcare, and manufacturing. So this is coming from that standpoint, right? So expectations from this live today, we're going to talk about organic tactics to increase your traffic on your website, actionable tips and kind of tactics to increase your social media engagement. And we're going to talk about other ways that you can have more creative content being created on a regular basis. And we're going to get into all of that. We're going to talk about the review of the 5 mistakes that small businesses make. I put this out on LinkedIn a couple of weeks ago and got a really great response, because the truth is, if I load up all the notebooks I have here of all the conversations I've had, every discovery meeting, every team meeting, leadership meeting with those verticals of businesses, I can draw a pretty nice line through all of those points. There is a common denominator. There are common pain points to a lot of small businesses, and I want to address those today. And then lastly, we're going to talk about systems and strategies. So systems and strategies that I think have benefited me, have benefited my clients, and hopefully they'll bring you some value today. So again, if you have any questions in the chat, I'm going to jump over real quick just to see if anything is on the other channels. I'm clicking back. All right, so if you have a chat, please drop that in there. And again, thanks for bearing with me because I'm figuring all this out. Organic tactics to increase your site traffic. So I tell business owners on a regular basis, because it's true, Google wants what we all want. They want businesses, they want traffic. They want traffic to come to them and to stick to them, and to know that their most equitable position on first page, if you will, at the very top, maybe a couple of scrolls down, is really the best positioning that Google can offer a consumer when they're searching for whatever in the world they're searching. So when a business can understand what the terms and the queries and the volume of things that are being searched for in their verticals, in their service lines, in their service area geographically, because that's obviously different as well. When you understand more about that and you can create content around that, it really, really, truly helps your positioning of your website and organic traffic to your site. So what does that mean? It means that consistently updating your business profile is very important. Right? So you go to Google, you search, the business profile pops up, you search on it. Some people have every service line they've ever thought about selling. Some people have none. I can promise you the ones that have more fields, the more empty fields completed, actually filled out, they're receiving much more organic traffic in your competitive space than you are. I have seen hand over hand, it doesn't honestly matter the business. When you take updating team shots, your hours, updating your hours, responding to the reviews that people are posting on Google. These seem very, very simple, but please understand, for the point of this live today, it's not about talking to the business owner that's 3 years old. They're past that 3-year-old mark. They've got a couple of 100,000 in either revenue or marketing spend. Honestly, we're just kind of throwing a dart at the commonality pain points between everyone. Some people that are watching this are going to be spending $2 million a year on pay-per-click ads, and some are just thinking about investing in pay-per-click for the very first time. as an example. So with respect, we won't get into budgets in this on this live. We're really just talking about high level small business practices that can help you move forward in marketing. So again, all the business profiles that are in all the open fields in your business profiles, you want to fill all of those in. Your service lines, your hours of operations, everything, your about us, the description. You know, there's the boxes you open up and it says blank of 1,500, and you're like, oh wow, they're wanting me to put in like 1,500 words there. It is your right to not fill that information in, but I promise you, you want to. You want to fill in every single open field in your Google profile page. So take a look at that. Maybe as you're watching this right now, click over, look at yours. And if it's not completely updated, I can almost guarantee that the majority of your pages are not completely updated with all the fields. And they're probably not updated with your team pictures and a lot of other things. We'll get into that in a minute. Okay, so actionable steps to increase your social media engagement. So this plays really well into that first point as well, which is a lot of businesses. I had dinner a couple of nights ago with two business owners, one out of Georgia, one out of Arkansas. And this individual has a large HVAC home services business and has, I think he said 40 employees. And the conversation over dinner was, he goes, yeah, I think it's probably time we put headshots on our website. When you have a brand new team, it's very important to show the people on the site that are going to be showing up at the home. Crossing that threshold of the front door into the home as a home service business is a very, very important and very trustworthy move, if you will, when deciding on a home services business. Don't forget that. But it also allows Google to remember, search engines want what we all want, right? They want to deliver the best product to their consumers. So whether you're on a brand new website that's just getting started, or you have a very equitable URL and it's been there for a very long time, adding your team's headshots to your website and consistently updating it when people fall off, as we know they do, and when leadership positions get promoted, of which we know they do. When you highlight that on your website and then take those photos across other channels, aside from taking it to the other channels, adding it to your website alone will make it fall into the category of the second largest trafficked page on your site. Outside of your homepage, this is my 2 decades of experience, outside of your homepage or a specific landing page or section of your site that you're spending a lot of money to send traffic to, your /team page, the page that has humans on it, will be the second most viewed page outside of your homepage. It has historically been that way in every website I've ever seen. And the truth is, because aside from paying dollars to send to another page, because people want to see other people. They like to see the team. They like to see the brevity of the company. What are you guys all about? How big is your team? What's the trucks look like? Or, and all the things that we all look at when we kind of stalk businesses online as well. So actionable tips to increase your social media engagement. Stop thinking that what you're selling today is what everyone's wanting to line up to buy today, because it's not. It is absolutely not that. Okay. So one thing, we'll kind of get into this in bullet points, and I apologize if you have a chat here, please drop over. I'm trying to click on the other channels without messing anything up and holding respect to our time here. So please let me know if you're having any issue. And other than that, I'll check chat. So the camera is a really big deal. Okay. So right now on this, I am recording on a iMac. I have a secondary light. I'm sure you can see the reflection in my glasses. I have a secondary light pointing at me. And then I have, I'm an iPhone person. So I have the new iPhone camera face toward me, not in selfie mode because I want to see myself, but in the better camera view pointing to me. Here's what we know is I kind of joke with other parents out there when my parent or my parents or my kids' grandparents, when they send pictures, it's interesting. And maybe it's just me as a marketer. I don't think it is. I think it's everyone. I know it's the systems. When your images are pixelated, when it's not as clean as it could be or should be as compared to all the things I've seen when I'm looking around and living life on a daily basis, you immediately start judging that brand because they're either putting out a crappy, output. It's not a very clean look. They're dated in their look, so they must be dated in their service offering. These are the things that go through people's minds. Okay, so make sure if you don't have an updated camera, I don't care if it's Apple or Android. I care that it's new. The newer cameras produce the better picture. So think about that. If you have a phone that opens up with a flip, it's not working for you. If your phone is over probably about 2 years old, you need to update. You really do. It's worth it. Our expectations are set at like 1080 and 4K these days, right? Remember, just a couple of years ago, 4K wasn't really a thing that we were all focused on. All right, more effective ways to create more content. So how do you get more engagement on social media? You post more real things that have nothing to do with what you're selling in your company. That takes a lot of business owners a minute to kind of pump the brakes on and think about, right? If you are, I'm 43. If you've been raised the majority of your life to understand that ads are this thing where people beat on the thing or tell you the sale or tell you all the value propositions of why you need to buy that thing right now. That's been advertising kind of 101 for decades and decades. And today we have so much more ways to getting into the buying cycle, into understanding more and wanting to learn more about the products or services. And so it's very important that we have both a brand awareness campaign, right? A demand generation campaign and a lead generation campaign, and having really, really clear expectations on what they both bring to the table. So we're about 15 minutes right now, 15 minutes into the recording. Again, thank you all very much for watching on the platform that you're watching. Drop me an emoji or a comment here, whether you're watching this live or later today, just to show me that you are on. I really, really appreciate it. Effective ways to write more content for your business. Okay, so a couple of bullet points. Here's kind of the brass tacks. If you are not a writer, then do not lie to yourself and think that you're going to start writing. You're not. You're not going to write blogs. You're not going to write articles for LinkedIn. You're not going to do it. So unless it's that thing that you're like, you know what? I used to really like writing. I just haven't done it in a long time. I really need to challenge myself to do it again. Then I'm not talking to you. I believe in you. I think you can go do it because you believe that you're a writer and you can go write. Then go do that. But for the majority of us that are not, then we're getting in our own way, right? So do you love video? Have you ever in your life recorded a podcast? Does having a video or multiple videos or lights pointed at you make you kind of, really anxious? I will tell you, you are the overwhelming majority. It's okay. Just because you're really great at your product or service doesn't make you a marketer. That's perfectly okay. If you want to save a lot of energy and time, and in some cases money, remove the largest obstacle when it comes to creating content, when it comes to creating more video, when it comes to potentially creating a podcast, when it comes to doing things differently for your business. The biggest obstacle is you. That is the truth. You might not want to hear it, but it is you. You're the leader of the company, the owner of the company. You might have hired an agency and you feel really good because you're a couple of months into that engagement. And so, it's really on them. I've hired that out. It is still on you to understand the bag of tricks that you have purchased, right? To understand how to hold that firm or that solopreneur, or whatever the situation is, that new hire W-2 into your company. It's your job as the leader and the business owner in some cases to actually lead that individual or that firm, to hold them accountable to what is the marketing monkey on your back that you're taking off and hiring them to take on, right? So it's not just a shift of responsibility, if you will. It's learning and understanding why they are doing that thing so you can be freed up to go do this other thing. So bullet points: how to create more effective content. Get out of your own way. Listen to experts tell you where you stand today and what you need to do digitally, where you stand today, and what you need to do and what you need to create to move your brand forward. People, consumers, customers, B2C, they don't want what we're selling today. I heard this. If you followed me for a while, you've heard me say this many, many times. It was told to me in a media training class a long time ago, and it has stuck with me because I think it's just the truest statement, period, when it comes to marketing and advertising. And that is that The overwhelming majority of people don't want what we're selling on any given basis. I wrote a couple of examples here. The loan officer that's in your feed right now that keeps posting about rates. Who cares? Nobody cares about interest rates right now, unless you do, right? Pest control. I have pest control companies that are educating me on all the spiders. I hate spiders. I do not care about the education of a different wood spider versus a whatever spider. But maybe I see a spider in my house, and then maybe I do care. The question is are you educating, entertaining, or bringing value to your audience on a consistent basis? I used to do this really annoying thing that whenever I would meet with prospects and talk with them, kind of the whole time I would be doing this is I would say, my intro or my story or where I was at that point in my career, et cetera. And when I got to the point of saying the word consistency, I would continuously clap. And I would say, this is the thing that is, in my opinion, the most important. Yes, it matters if you have some cash to put behind it as far as advertising. Yes, it matters that you have a strategy. All the things that I'm not saying obviously are important, but the most important, in my opinion, is consistent quality content. 20 years ago, you could have removed the word quality. It was just consistency. It's always been consistency. Those of us that are a little bit more gray in the hair, were raised, our entire media outlet is around the consistency, the repetitiveness. That is how we learn in some cases in repetition. And so that is what we as business owners, as marketing leaders, that's what we have to do with our storytelling, with our message. Excuse me. We have to be consistent and put out quality content, because now the average person is on their device up to 4 hours a day. I remember when that number was 2 hours. Now it's 4 hours a day. TikTok has surpassed Google as the search engine. Wrap your mind around that for a second. TikTok has surpassed Google as a search engine. It is all of our jobs to make sure as business owners and marketers that our story is on the right channel that it needs to be to reach our target audience with the message that they're engaging with. Do not look in the mirror. Do not look in a leadership room in a company where all your leaders get together and you sit in the room and you all high five each other. Do not convince yourself that reposting your blogs or putting something on a schedule that's got a LinkedIn post going out every other day is being effective for your company. I promise you it is not. You are wasting time and energy. It has to be extremely well thought out. There has to be split testing. You have to understand why you're doing what you're doing on the channels, or you are going to waste a lot of money. All right, guys, we're at 21 minutes. I got a couple more points here. I really appreciate your time and tuning in, watching, whether you're live on multiple channels or you're going to watch this after the fact. Regardless, I appreciate you. If you are not following me on LinkedIn, please do. You can join the other 2,200 people on there that are following my post. I have been on LinkedIn for a very long time, and I absolutely appreciate that platform. So please follow me on LinkedIn. YouTube, you can jump over to YouTube. I've got a handful of videos up there. Some are very old, some are very new. So please check those out. I'm trying to add to those on a regular basis. And let's see, what was the other thing? Oh, and definitely subscribe to my podcast. We have a brand new podcast. We have 4 episodes out right now, 3, the 4th one's coming out. And you can just search all places. We're literally in all the places that you listen to podcasts. Search for Cole Evans Podcast. And if you like this content, you're going to love all those channels. So we'll jump right in here to the 5 mistakes small businesses are making. I'm going to run through these. So neglecting search engines. If you go into my LinkedIn, you'll see a post on this very well laid out in a PDF that you can download and use in your next marketing meeting. You can drop a chat here and let me know if you want a copy, and I'll send you a copy. So neglecting search engines, 5 biggest mistakes I think small businesses make. Home service businesses are really big about this. A lot of businesses are, but specifically home service businesses, they really live and die by lead generation, right? Rightfully so. For the phone to ring, for the crews to go out, fix the thing, and increase their revenue. Pay-per-click is a very interesting model, because here's what we know. We know when you have professionals managing your pay-per-click, managing your search engine marketing, it is formulaic, right? You invest X, you split split test over X and Y creative, and it yields a result. And that result is usually a positive return on ad spend. Okay, return on ad spend, ROAS, as you might see on one of the reports that your marketers are giving you that you don't understand what's going on. Understand the short and long-term game. I used to draw this graph, and it was kind of a graph like this. And I would say, I might be turned around here, but the high point is paying. You have to pay for the position today, and over time, you will reduce your pay for those keywords or terms, etc., because you have built over time growth. You have built more organic content about what you're paying to play today. You have to pay today for what you're growing in organic tomorrow. You cannot just show up with a website and a truck and a ladder and someone that answers the phone and say, oh, I'm going to invest in pay-per-click and here we go, we're off to business. It might work a little bit, but that is not a sustainable strategy. Okay, so please make sure that you understand search engine marketing. Do not neglect your search engines. That is where the overwhelming majority of your leads are going to be coming from. So make sure that you understand that, both your short and long-term goals. I think that's very important. I try to tell business owners in every call that I have with them, and specifically when we close as clients, that here's where we are today. This is where we believe we're going to be in 6 months. We're going to tell you how we're reporting along that way to get to that point. This is the short term. The long term is all of these places here, all of this content that we have to create here, all this additional positioning that we need to get into now. That is not going to happen overnight, and it has to have a strategy to build up. So I tell people when it comes to search engine marketing, really, if you don't take anything away from that one bullet point of neglecting search engines, make sure that you are looking at and challenging your firm to tell you short and long-term goals. Make sure you understand those are very important. Second bullet point of the 5 the largest mistakes most business owners make, in my opinion. Number 2 is underestimating social media. So I saw a cool graph on LinkedIn the other day, and it showed the generational breakout of attention to channel. And it's very interesting that basically millennial and older is exactly what you would think. We all go to Google. We are on this social a little bit, that social a little bit. All the graphs kind of look the same. You can kind of make up intuitively what you think. What you really should get educated about is what the younger millennial, if you will, and younger audience is doing now. And you will immediately see that Google is down lower. TikTok, as an example, other channels are up much higher. And so posting, as I said earlier, the latest blog that you have and putting that on repetition, we've all seen the post. It comes across. I do the same thing. I do the exact same thing, but it's not the only thing I'm putting out there, right? I want people to read the blogs or any content that I'm writing and putting out there, but it is not just that as the sole strategy. It can't be that for you as well. So we've all seen the post, got the little copy at the top and the link, and it's going back to their site. We get it. That is, really 5-year-old mentality of, hey, I need to create content on a regular basis. Now I should take that content and actually tell people that I have it. If you were just now doing that, high five, because you're doing something and that's great. In all candor, you are a couple of years behind the ball. Excuse me. Posting 3 times a day is a made up metric. I remember in the year of our Lord, 2003, I worked for a company. I think it was 2003. I worked for a company, and we had this magic formula, and it was for managing Twitter, and it was 21 posts. I'll never forget this. It was 21 posts a day on Twitter. That's when we had just started in that company, not my company. I worked for another firm. We just started charging to manage social media. And so I say that to say this: posting 3 times a day is a complete made up metric. It's made up because it's relevant to a lot of things. The output that you're putting out, you can put out 7 videos a day or 7 posts a day. If they're all crap, right? No one likes the video. No one likes the image. You're not saying anything of education, entertainment, or value. Then I'm going to just probably unfollow you. I'm going to hit the X. I'm going to hide your post. I'm going to do all the things that are not helping you tell your story and get it across to other people. And sorry, I'm looking to see if my recording is still recording. Next is consistent quality content, 100%. your idea, this is a bullet point I wrote down, your idea of quality content and your audiences may be, they're probably very different. So split test. Leaders, owners, people that are managing a P&L do not like when the marketing firm, the solopreneur, the new marketing W-2, whatever, the person in charge of marketing or team in charge of marketing looks at the owner and says, now we're going to be doing some testing. Oh God, owners hate that word. They hate the word testing. Here's what I'm telling you. You have to test. You have to screw things up. You have to put out a post and boost a post to see nothing happened with it at all. Then you learn from it and you do another one and another one and another one across multiple channels so that you can figure out, or you can hold your firm or solopreneur or W-2, you can hold them all accountable because you're the leader, you're the business owner. You know exactly what you're asking them to do and what is understandable in the world of testing versus some old school agency trying to charge you by the hour to put a bunch of campaigns together that no one's seeing. So make sure that you understand the context of the storytelling that you're putting out on your post. Very important. Marketing complete. So let me back up. Posting 3 times a day, I'd say is made up, but volume, do not mistake. Volume is the name of the game. You have to. Now, again, I'm going to back up. For younger people that this has been the majority of their life, they get it. So I'm really, if you're watching, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people my age and older. I'm telling you this because we used to sit down, we would turn on the channel, and there would be a program. There would be the show that was running, whatever was supposed to be on that channel, right? And of course you had cable, so you click all the channels, but the advertisements, they just ran all the time. And you might watch the end of one because your show was in, or the beginning of one because your show was ending, and you just flip over to another channel, or you were about to watch a show, so you caught the end of another commercial, but very few and far between did you just sit and just mind-numbingly watch commercials, right? There's no difference in that mentality than what we're doing today on our devices or on our screen. They're all commercials. Today, that context of that commercial is really stepped up. Today, so many more ads and creative try to pull us into a narrative that is telling us a story, is bringing us entertainment, educating us, bringing us value, and consistently doing that, where it used to just be about sell, sell, sell. How much can I sell this weekend? The Joseph A. Banks, let me beat on this car and sell it to you this Saturday. Those days have really passed. And if you're still thinking about that as a business owner and running your business like that on the marketing and advertising side, you are really losing market share on a regular basis. So I'll get off that bullet point. Bullet point number 3. We're a couple of minutes, we're approaching 2 minutes over, and I'm kind of almost done. Marketing complacency. I'll roll through these. If you have done, and I put fill in the blank, if you have done fill in the blank in the last 3 years, right? If you have done whatever this thing is, the exact same over the last 3 years. Oh, well, we were on the morning show on the FM station. Yeah, we're on the Christian radio station in the afternoons on Sunday afternoon, along with whatever the thing is, okay? You have fallen into marketing complacency. Marketing, content marketing, advertising has changed. It's changing rapidly on a regular basis. And if your P&L, if your strategy, if everything about your marketing looks the same as it did 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, you are honestly falling into marketing complacency. You're not keeping yourself in tune with what is happening and the other channels and the diversification and what you could be doing on search and different ways to maximize a lot of different platforms and systems that could help you increase both your brand and your revenue in your local market. Let's see, where am I at here? AI. I'm not going to get into AI in depth here, but here's what I would say. I would say invest a lot of energy into learning more about AI today than you did yesterday, and dedicate every week to learning something. Do what I did. Sign up for a couple of platforms, sign up for the premiums of the platforms, and see what one output is as compared to another output. Learn, get in and play around with things and see what the output is. You're going to be, like everyone is, extremely impressed with what you can do, learn, and what some of those strategies, we'll get into this in just a second, but what it can help you do in your business to really, again, take that marketing or business or leadership monkey off your back and to start being more efficient with your time. Fourth here, so we've got neglecting search engines, understanding social media, marketing complacency. Number 4, the top 5 mistakes most small businesses make. Number 4, not paying attention to data. You ever seen that commercial? They're talking about life insurance policies, and it's the 2 old people sitting up, and there's a gold mine underneath, and these 2 people are yelling up, and they go, "You're sitting on a." That's what I thought about when I was typing this out. You're sitting on a gold mine. Businesses do not understand. It's not a negative thing. I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you that you are sitting on a gold mine. If you have a minimum of 800 customer records, then you, as a home service business, can have a predictive model. If you are a nonprofit that raises money and you are not using your data to build more predictive models on how to go find your next $100,000, you are not paying attention, not paying enough attention to your data. So many systems out there are really good about looking in the rearview mirror, right? They're all transaction based. So you see a cool heat map. Well, that heat map is about the transactions that you've already done. And so it tells you a lot. For someone that's had a business for 20 years, looking at a heat map of where your business is the coolest thing in the world, right? It's a great visual of understanding what is going on. Now let's take another layer, right? So now what if we took the information of that transactional history and we said, what if we could predict with your data, it's your data, what if we could predict exactly who those next customers are going to be? Exactly who those next customers are going to be and where they're located and how many kids they have and how they voted and how many square feet their house are and their phone number. And if they went to school, how much money they make, how long they've lived in the house, is the house rented or mortgaged, et cetera, et cetera. The license record of exactly who your next customer is going to be. This predictive modeling is out there right now. Companies use it on a regular basis. I tell prospects when I'm on the phone with them, we have a product, check out evanscompany.co, check out Predictive Buyer Pro. We have a predictive model that we have built for HVAC companies. When you get a postcard in the mail, right? We all know the thing. You go to the mail, you look through, you get your bills, you get the whatever thing that stands out. Everything else, unless something is standing out to you, it gets chunked immediately. A lot of people don't know. Consumers it might stand out to them. Sometimes you get the thing in the mail and it's very nice and it's very fancy and it's like, oh wow, they've got 2 kids like we do. And look, in their backyard, they have a golden retriever. We have a golden retriever. That information is based on you. It was printed for you because of consumer data that's being sold in the market that we're talking about right now, right? So, and don't be surprised. Your neighbor across the street, they got one with 3 kids. They didn't have a fence, and they're cat people, so they didn't have a dog on theirs. This is already happening on big box level. It's been happening for many years, and now we can take data on a small business scale. Right now, we're helping HVAC dealers take out of their system and a customer base of a minimum of 800 customer records, and we tell them, we break their customers into 4 tiers: tier 1, 2, and 3, and then non-prospect. We're utilizing their historical data to tell them who their next customer is going to be. Think about what that does to your marketing budget when you are not throwing out this wide net and driving all over your geographic service area. Have you taken enough time to actually look at the over under on what if you tightened that entire service area to a 18-mile radius of your single office? Have you looked at what it would do if you increased one zip code because of search volume needs and what that looks like? Start utilizing and thinking about how can you use your data to help you increase your revenue. 5th point, ego. I love this one. And I think this is a pretty big one, actually. 5th biggest mistake small businesses make: ego over execution. I said this earlier. You are more than likely, you're in your own way. Oh, wow, look at that. I said a golden retriever, but we really have a golden doodle, and that's him stretched out. And these things you see here, one of our kids had a birthday, so everything in the house is decorated for birthday. So that's why I don't usually have streamers hanging up in the house. That being said, again, thank you. No matter what channel you're watching me on, I've been getting a couple of text messages from friends here. Andy, thank you for tuning in. And some chats. I really appreciate that. So thank you very, very much. Again, if you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, following me on LinkedIn, subscribe to our podcast, the Cole Evans Podcast. If you like this content, you will love the information there. Systems, guys, it's at 38 minutes. I've got a couple of more things here. Systems and strategies. We'll go through this really quick. Write this down. Get your pen, get a text, write this down right now. SEMrush.com. Write it down. SEMrush.com. If you are a business and you are making money, you need to be on SEMrush.com. You need to be paying for a premium position, and you either need to figure out, or you need to pay someone to figure out, or you need to hire someone internally to figure it out and really take a deep dive in understanding where you stand digitally, learn more about your keyword positioning, learn about your competitors. It really helps business owners understand you more than likely, just in all candor, you're more than likely not going to do this. But I'm trying to help give you valuable insight and tactics and things that you can hold your team accountable with. You should understand SEMrush, SEMrush.com. You should understand it and understand where your site and your competitors are today. It really will help. Dedicate time to getting organized. Organize. This, I might not be talking to you, business owner, but I am going to talk about marketers. Usually, sometimes I'll paint a broad brush and not point at myself directly, but sometimes marketers are a little scatterbrained, right? Creatives and type A personalities sometimes are not the most aligned behavioral style. And so one thing, project management systems are very important. I tell prospects, clients of ours, we always operate in 12 months. It's always a rolling 12 months. We always have a plan in both budget and in when we put words and strategies to those actual budget lines. So Gantt chart views, the cool view of all the things down the side and the months across the top, and oh, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and it's a cool view. Gantt chart views, I think, are a very visual way to post on the wall, to go and point to, all right, we said next month we're going to do this. And again, it's holding accountability to what is our strategy? Where are we going? What are we doing different? So project management system, I get, there's no links here. There's no affiliate kickback, but I will tell you, I've been a big proponent of the project management system Asana for many years. I think it's probably 8 years, if I'm not mistaken. But I have literally in the past 2 weeks, I've moved everything over. This is called, the site is called Use Motion, motion.com. They have project management in there, exactly what all the project management systems have: independent record, section, Gantt chart views, timelines, all the things. They also have your calendar that's connected to all the calendars that you would have. And then your booking. And booking's really cool because I have a podcast aside from meetings, some 15, some 30, some an hour. And I was able to replace my Calendly, or most people are familiar with Calendly. I was paying, I think, $35 a month for Calendly. This entire system for project management, calendar, and booking is, I think, $35. So the Asana platform alone was like $70 a month. So check out Use Motion. I downloaded it to my phone. I love it. I'll give you one little thing here. So you load in your task, your to-do list, you load them all in, you put deadlines on there based on your priority of that task, and based on your deadline of that task, Motion will then organize that task on your calendar. And so you always have a fully planned out calendar based on what you told it. And you can go in and move those things and turn them off. And so get in, play with it. I hope that brings you some additional value. Dedicate time with the AI platform. Again, I'm not going to get in the weeds with this, but I want to say this really quick. So ChatGPT, now look, there are lots of platforms. Here's what I have had experience with and I've really enjoyed. So I had ChatGPT, I had the free version, and then I upgraded it and I went to the premium version. and I played around with that. And I really, really liked it. And then Gemini came out, Google Gemini came out. I really like that platform, much cleaner, much faster. And then ChatGPT did an upgrade and they really stepped up a lot of their things. And so I will tell you, I have both platforms. I'm really kind of leaning back on ChatGPT now, but no matter what it is, and it doesn't have to be the premium version, but you'll be like me, maybe, and you'll get in and you'll want a premium version because it does cooler things. Ask all, and I put a bullet point in here on the AI, whatever platform you download. And honestly, if you are watching this right now, if you do not have any tactical experience with AI, take an hour, download one or both of the systems. There's no different than going into your Google search and searching something, right? And get tactically involved and see the output, see what ChatGPT is like, see what Google's Gemini is like, and make your own decision. I put in here, ask all the stupid questions that you're never going to ask sitting in front of a marketer or anyone else on your team. We all have those questions professionally, personally. We all have questions that we're never, ever going to say out loud. AI is the perfect platform to go in, ask certain information, and then get an output. So content created and learning. So here's an example I put. Hi, my name's John. I've been, not that you would actually put hi, you don't have to talk to the GPT, the prompts that way. Hi, this is John. I've been a plumber for 14 years, and I asked ChatGPT, what are the top 10 do-it-yourself items people do themselves when it comes to plumbing in their home? It's going to give you a list, okay? Here are the top 10 things people do it themselves when it comes to plumbing at their house. Number one is a video. Number two is a video. They don't have to be done the same day. They can be chopped up and done in different days, but that's one video. The answer to that question where you used AI and where you're going to take your 14 years of experience, John, is put your camera up and tell in your experience why number one is number one and do it yourself. This is not your time, John, to sell them on John's Plumbing. They're going to see you under entertainment, education, or bringing value, and they're going to say, wow, John brought me value today. On to the next thing. And that's what everyone is doing to everything. Unless you piss me off or rub me the wrong way in some way, I'm going to keep you in the feed. I've engaged with you at some point, as long as you keep bringing me entertainment, bringing me value, or educating me. Okay. So make sure that you're really looking around that content. And when you're looking at an AI or anything that you're going to put out content, remember, come from a place of value, just a place of value, not trying to make your phone ring, because that's not how it works. And again, chopping that content that comes up in AI and making a content plan. Whether you're a small business, very, very small, you're just getting started, you can't hire out services or hire anyone else right now, great. You're the backbone of the economy. Go and conquer the world. But get your game face on and get organized with your content and why you're putting out what you're putting out. Lastly here, guys, we are wrapping up. I am only 20 minutes over schedule, so I'm very impressed. Strategies. Lastly here, get real about your email marketing. Email marketing is the lowest hanging fruit in most businesses. And it is very, very underutilized. It does not matter if you are selling a product or service that is only being sold to them once. If you have sold them something a year ago, it is your job to consistently communicate to this audience that has given you, outside of their cell phone number or their physical home address, they've given you the all coveted email address, right? I'm going to check this every single day. And this is only to me. It's not like social media. This is my email address. So don't come at me the crazy way on my email. Bring me value, educate me, help me understand more than I understood yesterday, right? So give your past customers a reason to do business with you again. Why do we see, another bullet point I wrote here, why do we see in the big box stores, some cases weeks, months before they're needed? Why do we see things? I immediately think of Christmas. I was thinking of Easter and how quick the Easter eggs were out at Target before Easter got here. Those are very simple, oversimplified examples, But what we know is that they're getting ahead of the market, right? They get ahead. Christmas trees come out in October. So as soon as Halloween's over, people can go ahead and do their thing before Thanksgiving. Think about that in your business, in your product or service line. What do you know are patterns in your business? What do you know that you can get ahead of and educate people before it happens? When people are in the need, right now, I'll switch and go to home services for a second. When people are in the need for, as we are right now, I'm a little south of Nashville, Tennessee. The high today is, I think, 65. I'm probably not worried about the air conditioner today. But within a couple of weeks, we're going to hit this point where 65 is going to be the coldest day that we really wish that we had again, right? It's going to get really, really warm. And in home services, specifically around HVAC, roofers, you can think about this as it aligns with storms. Plumbers, you can think about this as it aligns with your everyday phone calls. Getting ahead of the need, getting ahead of the pain point that they haven't had yet, and educating them on value, bringing them consistent quality content around the subject matter. It increases your likelihood of getting that business when they do enter the market. It increases it exponentially. Invest in learning more about your business and about your customers. And again, this goes back to data. Looking at a quick screenshot and seeing a heat map and going, oh, we sell in zip code 12345, and that's the red zone. Okay, that's great. Everything looks cool. That's not good enough, right? We got to tear into the data and really learn. You might learn that you're missing a huge bolt-on opportunity to sell customers that are buying this product or widget, product or service, that they could buy this other thing, but we haven't even told them. They don't even know because they bought this thing 8 months ago and they haven't looked at it since. So there's an opportunity there to add bolt-ons. There's an opportunity to clean crap out of your list. You might have an email list or a customer base that's 25 years old, and some of those people have been dead, moved on. You haven't serviced that address in years. Really clean up your data so you have a very clear shot of what your customer base looks like today, and looking at how that data can help you in the future. All right, guys, it is 50 minutes in the recording. I said it was going to be 30. I hope you have enjoyed this. Again, thank you. Whatever platform you are watching on, I really, really appreciate this. I'm going to try my best to do these on a consistent basis. This is going live, so I like doing pre-recorded. Live is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm doing it, and I'm challenging you to do more things out of your comfort zone as well. If you like this content, jump over to YouTube, look up Evans Company or Cole Evans, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate the 13 of you that are there right now. Download the Cole Evans podcast. That's on all the places that you listen to podcasts. If you're not a podcast person, that's fine. I don't know why you're not, but you can also listen to every episode on our blog page on evanscompany.co. That's .co. And of course, on all the social media channels, you can follow me there. So if your business needs my help, send me an email, direct message me, and let's have a conversation. I hope you have had some valuable takeaways from this and some tactics and tricks. I hope that you have a great day walking into a great weekend. And like I said, I am here if you need my help. Everyone, have a great day.